Listen carefully. Your next breakthrough may not come from heaven falling open. It may come from one conversation, one meeting, one unexpected introduction. What if I told you that God has already assigned a person of influence, someone with resources, authority, and access to open a door for you? But here's the question that will decide everything. Will you be ready when that door opens? Many people pray for blessings, but are not prepared to handle them. They ask God for favor, but neglect discipline. They want opportunity, but avoid responsibility. If you leave this message early, you may miss the exact instruction that determines whether you step through your door or watch it close forever. Stay with me, because by the end of this message, you will understand how God prepares you before He connects you, and what you must do today to be ready when that wealthy person walks into your life. God is the source, but people are the channels. Throughout history, God used people of influence to elevate others. A connection that led to promotion, a recommendation that changed a destiny, a door opened that no effort alone could unlock. Do not underestimate relationships. God does not always send money. Sometimes He sends access. But access without preparation becomes pressure. Here is a hard truth. Opportunities don't change lives. Prepared people do. A wealthy person does not open doors for potential alone. They look for faithfulness, skill, wisdom, humility, consistency. If God connects you today, would you be ready to speak wisely, handle responsibility, manage resources, represent integrity? Preparation is your proof of faith. Wealthy and influential people protect one thing above all else: trust. Talent opens attention. Character opens doors. God develops your character before He expands your influence. Hidden seasons build strength, delays build discipline, silence builds maturity. If God delays you, He is not denying you, He is developing you. The door will not announce itself loudly, it may come quietly. A simple invitation, a casual conversation, a small opportunity. But when it comes, hesitation can cost destiny. Faith is not waiting forever. Faith is recognizing the moment and stepping forward with courage. God is preparing someone to bless you, but He is also preparing you to receive it. Your job is not to chase wealthy people. Your job is to chase growth, obedience, excellence, and faith. When you are ready, God will align the connection. When the door opens, walk through it boldly. And when favor finds you, steward it wisely. Your season is closer than you think. Be ready. God opens doors through people, not because He is limited, but because He desires partnership. From the beginning, God chose to work through human vessels to accomplish divine purposes. He could have done everything alone, yet He consistently involved people: kings, servants, strangers, mentors, and even unlikely helpers. This reveals a powerful truth. The answer to your prayer may already be walking on the earth in the form of a person you have not yet met. Many people are waiting for a miracle to fall from the sky, while God is preparing a connection to walk through a door. They pray for provision, but God sends instruction. They pray for elevation, but God sends a relationship. They pray for open heavens, but God opens human hearts. When God wants to change a life, He often changes who has access to that life. Wealthy and influential people are not accidents in God's plan. They are stewards of resources, opportunities, and authority. When God wants to lift someone, He may place that person in the path of influence. One conversation can accomplish what years of struggle could not. One recommendation can unlock doors education, effort, and talent could never force open. This is not favoritism, it is divine alignment. However, the connection is not random. God does not connect people carelessly. He connects purpose to purpose. When God joins lives, it is because something in you is ready to match something in them. That is why preparation matters so deeply. A door can open quickly, but if you are unprepared, it can close just as fast. God may open access, but your wisdom determines whether you remain there. It is important to understand that people of influence are observant. They watch attitudes before abilities. They listen for wisdom before words. They sense desperation, entitlement, and pride, and they withdraw from it. God knows this, which is why He often allows seasons of waiting. Waiting is not punishment, it is training. In those quiet seasons, God teaches patience, humility, discipline, and restraint. These qualities are essential for sustaining favor when it arrives. God also uses people to test your character. How you treat those who cannot help you reveals whether you are ready to stand before those who can. How you handle small responsibilities determines whether you can be trusted with greater ones. Many miss divine connections because they are busy seeking attention instead of cultivating faithfulness. God watches how you behave in obscurity before He introduces you to visibility. Sometimes the person God uses does not look powerful at first. They may appear ordinary, unimportant, or even inconvenient. Yet God often hides great doors behind simple interactions. A conversation you almost ignored, a meeting you nearly declined, or a relationship you undervalued may have been the channel God intended to use. This is why discernment matters. Not every opportunity is loud. Some are quiet but life-changing. When God opens a door through a person, it is never just about material gain. It is about purpose, impact, and stewardship. Wealth is not only money, it is access, influence, knowledge, and reach. God gives access so that His will can be fulfilled through your life. If your heart is aligned with His purpose, He will align you with the right people at the right time. Do not despise relationships. Do not isolate yourself in pride or fear. Remain teachable, honorable, and respectful. God connects those who are ready to listen, learn, and grow. Your posture determines your position. When your heart is right, God will move the right person toward you, and what feels like coincidence will actually be divine orchestration. When that moment comes, recognize it with gratitude, not arrogance. Honor the door, respect the opportunity, and remember that God is the true source behind every connection. If God used a person once, He can do it again. Stay faithful, stay prepared, and trust that God is working through people to bring His promises to pass. Preparation determines promotion because God never elevates a person beyond their capacity to carry responsibility. Many desire the position, the influence, the favor, and the visibility, but few are willing to embrace the discipline required before the elevation comes. God's pattern is consistent. Before He opens a door publicly, He prepares a person privately. Promotion is not an event, it is the result of a process that shapes the mind, strengthens the character, and refines the spirit. People often mistake opportunity for readiness. They assume that desire qualifies them for advancement, but desire without preparation leads to collapse. God may open a door, but if you lack wisdom, structure, or maturity, that door can become a burden rather than a blessing. Preparation protects you from being destroyed by the very thing you prayed for. It gives you stability when pressure increases and clarity when decisions multiply. True preparation begins internally. God works on the heart long before He changes the environment. He teaches patience so that success does not create arrogance. He develops humility so that influence does not corrupt. He builds endurance so that challenges do not cause retreat. These inner qualities are not visible, yet they are essential. Without them, external success becomes temporary and dangerous. Preparation also involves responsibility in small things. God watches how you manage what is already in your hands. How you treat your current job, your present relationships, your limited resources, and your daily commitments reveals whether you are ready for more. Faithfulness is a spiritual principle that attracts increase. Those who honor small assignments are trusted with greater ones because they have proven their reliability. Mental preparation is just as important as spiritual growth. A prepared person thinks differently. They learn, observe, and grow. They develop skills, improve communication, and sharpen understanding. Opportunity favors those who are ready to respond with competence. When preparation meets opportunity, confidence replaces fear. You no longer panic at open doors because you have already done the work in advance. God also prepares people through delays. Delays are not denials, they are seasons of strengthening. In waiting, God removes unhealthy dependence, refines motives, and builds resilience. Many people rush toward promotion without realizing that unhealed wounds and unresolved insecurities can sabotage success. God slows the process to heal what would later break under pressure. What feels like a setback may actually be protection. Prepared people recognize that promotion comes with responsibility, not comfort. Greater doors require greater discipline. Influence demands accountability. Success requires consistency. God prepares you to handle the weight of what He is about to release. If your foundation is weak, elevation becomes dangerous. If your discipline is shallow, growth becomes unstable. When preparation is complete, promotion feels natural rather than overwhelming. You step into the opportunity with clarity, peace, and confidence. You are not surprised by responsibility because you have already carried it in smaller forms. You are not intimidated by expectations because you have developed competence over time. Preparation removes fear because you know you are ready. God does not reward shortcuts. He honors obedience, growth, and perseverance. Every lesson, every challenge, and every quiet season serves a purpose. What you are learning now will be required later. What you are building now will support future success. Nothing is wasted in God's process. When the door opens, the prepared person walks through without hesitation. They do not beg for approval or struggle to prove themselves. Their preparation speaks for them. Promotion becomes sustainable because it is built on depth, not excitement. God elevates those who are ready to represent Him well. If you want the door to open, commit to preparation. Grow where you are. Learn what you can. Serve faithfully. Strengthen your character. When readiness meets opportunity, promotion becomes inevitable. Character is the true currency that sustains favor, because influence without integrity is temporary and dangerous. Talent may attract attention, skill may create opportunity, and confidence may open conversations, but character determines whether doors remain open. God is deeply concerned with who you are becoming, not just what you are achieving. Before He entrusts you with access, influence, or resources, He examines the condition of your heart. Wealthy and influential people are cautious by nature. They have learned through experience that ability without character leads to betrayal, mismanagement, and loss. That is why they observe behavior more than promises. They watch how a person speaks, listens, responds to correction, and handles disagreement. They notice humility, honesty, patience, and consistency. These qualities cannot be faked for long. Character reveals itself over time. God understands this dynamic, which is why He prioritizes inner formation before external expansion. He uses hidden seasons to shape motives and refine intentions. When no one is watching, your decisions matter most. Integrity is proven in private long before it is rewarded in public. How you act when there is no recognition determines how much responsibility you can handle when recognition comes. Character is developed through pressure, not comfort. Trials expose weaknesses and refine strengths. Delays test patience. Opposition reveals humility. Correction shapes wisdom. God allows these moments not to break you, but to build you. A person who resists growth during correction will struggle when authority increases. A person who learns from rebuke becomes trustworthy. Faithfulness is one of the strongest expressions of character. Being dependable, consistent, and reliable builds trust. Many desire influence but avoid responsibility. They want results without process. Yet God honors those who show up, follow through, and remain committed even when progress feels slow. Faithfulness in small matters signals readiness for greater ones. Honesty is another essential component of character. Truth builds credibility. Once trust is broken, Doors close quickly. God values truth not only in words, but in intentions. Manipulation, exaggeration, and hidden motives may produce short-term gains, but they destroy long-term favor. Integrity creates stability. People trust those whose actions align with their words. Humility protects success. When elevation comes, pride becomes a silent threat. A humble person remains teachable even after achievement. They listen, learn, and acknowledge limitations. Wealth and influence magnify what already exists inside a person. If pride is present, it will grow. If humility is present, it will strengthen leadership. God also uses character to position people for lasting impact. Influence is not given for self-exaltation, but for service. A person with strong character understands that access is a responsibility. They use opportunity to lift others, not exploit them. God entrusts influence to those who will steward it with wisdom and compassion. When character is strong, doors open naturally. People recommend those they trust. Opportunities flow toward those who are reliable. Favor follows integrity. You do not need to advertise yourself aggressively when your reputation speaks for you. Character creates credibility that cannot be purchased. Developing character is a daily commitment. It requires self-awareness, discipline, and willingness to grow. It means choosing what is right over what is easy. God watches these choices closely. He shapes leaders in obscurity so they can stand securely in visibility. When the moment of connection comes, character will speak before words do. It will create confidence in those who hold influence. It will sustain favor long after the opportunity arrives. Skill may open the door, but character ensures that you remain inside. If you want lasting doors, invest in who you are becoming. Build integrity, humility, and faithfulness. Character is the currency God honors, and it is the foundation upon which true elevation stands. Divine timing meets human readiness at the exact moment when preparation aligns with opportunity. God's timing is precise, intentional, and purposeful. It is never early and never late. What often feels like waiting is actually alignment in progress. While you are growing, learning, and being shaped, God is arranging circumstances, positioning people, and orchestrating moments that will eventually intersect with your life. When that intersection happens, readiness becomes the deciding factor. Many people miss life-changing moments because they are not attentive to timing. They expect doors to open dramatically, with clear signs and undeniable announcements. In reality, divine opportunities often arrive quietly. A conversation that seems ordinary, a request that feels small, an invitation that appears inconvenient. Yet within these moments lies the potential for transformation. Discernment allows you to recognize when God is moving, even when the moment does not look extraordinary. Readiness is not just about skill, it is about awareness. A ready person is alert, responsive, and flexible. They do not hesitate excessively when opportunity appears. They understand that timing requires movement. Faith is not passive waiting, it is active obedience. When God opens a door, he expects a response. Delay caused by fear, doubt, or overanalysis can result in missed opportunities. Courage is often the bridge between readiness and breakthrough. Human readiness involves confidence rooted in preparation. When you have invested time in growth, you recognize opportunity without panic. You are not overwhelmed because you have already done the work in private. Readiness removes the need for external validation. You step forward knowing that God's timing carries his support. This confidence is quiet but firm. It is not arrogance. It is assurance. God's timing also tests trust. Sometimes the opportunity comes before you feel fully comfortable. Waiting for perfect conditions can become a trap. God often calls people forward when they still feel slightly stretched. This stretch is intentional. It forces reliance on him rather than self. Readiness does not mean perfection. It means obedience with faith. Those who move when God speaks experience growth within the opportunity itself. Divine timing is closely connected to obedience in the present. What you do now determines your sensitivity later. Those who consistently obey small instructions develop clarity when major moments arrive. Disobedience dulls discernment. Faithfulness sharpens it. When you walk in alignment daily, you recognize God's timing more easily because your spirit is trained to listen. When timing and readiness meet, momentum follows. Things begin to align quickly. Conversations flow, doors open, and resistance decreases. What once felt delayed suddenly accelerates. This is not coincidence. It is convergence. God brings together preparation, character, and opportunity at the right moment. When this happens, hesitation becomes costly. Bold action is required. Fear is often the final barrier. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of inadequacy. Yet fear is not a sign to stop. It is often a sign that the moment matters. Courage does not eliminate fear. It moves despite it. Those who step forward in faith experience growth beyond comfort. Those who retreat remain where they are. When the door opens, gratitude and humility must guide your response. Recognize that the opportunity is entrusted, not earned. God is the source, even when people are the instruments. Honor the moment by stewarding it well. Move forward with integrity, diligence, and faith. Do not rush carelessly, but do not hesitate unnecessarily. Divine timing will come. God does not forget promises. He fulfills them when readiness aligns with purpose. Stay prepared. Stay attentive. Stay faithful. When the moment arrives, respond with courage. One step taken at the right time can change the entire direction of your life.